Hey yo, I'ma explain why you probably never see me. I push a Lamborghini, church on magic like Houdini. My body shaped like genie, booty dreamy, waist is teeny.
Hi, good day everyone. So before anything else, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So our discussion for today is about circulatory system, or also known as the cardiovascular system. Okay, so ano ba ang dapat nating malaman sa discussion na ito or sa tutorial session na ito? Yan ang malalaman natin ngayon. Okay, like what I have said a while ago, our discussion is all about the circulatory system. Okay? Circulatory system, or also known as cardiovascular system. Okay? Circulatory system, or also known as cardiovascular system. Cardio means heart. Okay? So cardio means heart. And when we say vascular means vessels. Okay, vessels or channel. Okay, so what is the main function? Actually, cardiovascular system is the body's transportation system. That system includes the blood, heart, and of course the blood vessels. We can include also the lymphatic system, but later on, discuss natin ang connection ng lymphatic system to our circulatory system. Okay, the main function of the system of this system is to pump blood to and from the cells of the body, and that circulation results in nutrition. Okay, nutrition, excretion. Okay, excretion, protection, regulation of body fluid, fluids, and of course, respiration. If the respiratory system use the process of respiration, this circulatory system use the process of circulation. Okay, and that circulation results in nutrition. So when it comes to nutrition, actually is made possible by cardiovascular system's transportation. No, nutrition is made possible by the cardiovascular system's transportation of glucose, protein, minerals, and fats in the blood to the body cells. When it comes to excretion, excretion is the process by which metabolic waste are eliminated from the body cells. These waste are carried away from the body cells during blood circulation. Next is the protection, no? So like what I said, circulation results in protection. So protection is provided by transportation of antibodies for resistance to infection. How about the regulation of body fluid? In regulation of body fluids, this regulatory function helps balance the body's temperature. Okay, that's regulation of body fluids. Respiration provides for transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxides. So these are the results, no, of circulation, the process used by the circulatory system or the cardiovascular system. Now, like what I said a while ago, this system includes blood, heart, blood vessels, and even the lymphatic system. But let's start first with the blood. Okay, So blood produced in bone marrow, no? All types of blood, white blood cells, red blood cells, platelets, all of them produced in bone marrow. So blood has the following components and values. So we have the erythrocytes or the red blood cells, okay? So erythrocytes, this is the medical term, okay? Common term natin is the red blood cells. Contain hemoglobin, which carries oxygen, because the main function of the red blood cells or the erythrocyte is to carry oxygen and nutrients throughout our body. And then the normal hemoglobin is about 14 to 17 grams per deciliter of blood. No, that is our normal hemoglobin. Of course, we have the leukocytes or the white blood cells. No? Leukocytes are the white blood cells. Assist in fighting infections, respond to allergens, and destroy foreign cells because the function of the white blood cells or the leukocytes is to fight diseases. And the normal count of leukocytes in the body is about 5,000, no? 5,000 to 10,000. Okay? The normal count of leukocytes in the body. And there are several kinds of white blood cells. So, yung mga kinds ng white blood cells natin, we have the polymorphonuclear, lymphocytes, monocytes, basophils, eosinophils. Those are the types of leukocytes or several kinds, no, of white blood cells. I repeat, we have the polymorphonuclear, we have the lymphocytes, monocytes, basophils, eosinophils. Those are the several kinds of white blood cells. Siyempre, hindi mawawala si platelets. Okay? Platelets or the thrombocytes. No, tinatawag natin yang thrombocytes. Okay? So, thrombocytes or platelets. So, what is the function of the platelets? Function to clot blood. Actually, our blood is rich in iron, no? Once na rich in iron ng ating blood, yung hemoglobin magiging red. So, kaya red ang blood. Actually, hindi naman talaga red na red, no? Or specific na red ang color niya. Pero yun yung ginagamit nating color to emphasize, no, the color of our blood. So, magiging color red ang blood kapag ang hemoglobin is rich in iron. Kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag na iron deficiency. Kapag may iron deficiency ka, parang naglulugmok ka, nanghihina ka, no? Nawawalan ka ng ganang gawin yung gusto mong gawin, tapos para kang namumutla, is just because your blood is lack of oxygen and lack of iron. Okay? Yung hemoglobin mo bumababa, yung count, yung level ng red blood cells mo bumababa, yung count ng red blood cells mo nagdi-decrease, nagkakaroon ka ng iron deficiency. So, hindi siya maganda sa kalusugan. So, that is our hemoglobin. Dapat rich in iron. So here in the blood, actually 92% water and 8 to 9% is about yung solid particles na nasa blood natin, yung mga food, waste, and other antibodies. Now, we are not going to discuss here the antibodies kasi hindi naman siya part ng circulatory system or cardiovascular system. At the same time, the blood groups. I am not going to discuss the blood groups here kasi masyadong mahaba pag diniscuss natin yung blood groups na type A, B, AB, and O, kung paano ba siya nakukuha. But just always remember that in blood types, so we have the antigen. Pag sinabi nating antigen, this is the types of carbohydrates responsible for the production of antibodies. And what is antibodies? Of course, these antibodies act against antigen. So that's why nagpo-produce tayo ng antibodies kasi sinasalaki niya yung antigen na napoproduce sa ating katawan or pumapasok sa ating katawan. So we have the what we so-called sphygmomanometer. Okay? Sphygmomanometer is a type of instrument. The use of this instrument is to measure our BP, no, blood pressure. It's a type of BP apparatus. No, that is the sphygmomanometer. Okay, let's proceed to the plasma. Right after the platelets, so kanina we have the erythrocytes, the red blood cells, the leukocytes, the white blood cells, and then the platelets or the thrombocytes. We have here the plasma. Okay, so plasma is the liquid part of our blood. So ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyong rich in iron. So dapat rich in iron tong plasma to. Itong plasma na to because liquid part siya, no? It transports water, nutrients, hormones, salts, and several kinds of proteins. So yan ang ginagawa ni plasma. That's why yung kanyang kine-carry, no, na mga materials like yung mga proteins, nutrients, hormones, water, salts, yan yung mga importante sa ating katawan. Kaya yung blood natin, meron siyang plasma na responsible din for distributing several kinds of proteins na maganda sa ating katawan. And of course, right after the blood, let's proceed to the different types of blood vessels. Okay, blood vessels. So like what I said, when you say vessels in cardiovascular, vascular means vessels, vessels means channels. Okay, so we have the arteries. Okay, yung arteries, main function, of course, the arteries is to carry blood away from the heart. Now that is the function of the arteries. The second one is veins. Okay, so the main function of the veins is to carry blood to the heart. And of course, the capillaries. So these capillaries surround body cells and exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide and nutrients and waste. If you can still remember, or if you still know the function of the respiration, the function of the respiratory system, or the role of the alveoli for gas exchange, maaalala nyo kung anong function ni capillaries doon, kung ano bang kinikerry niya, no? So dito, pag-aaralan natin later on yung function ng mga different types of blood vessels, no, para mag-transport ng mga deoxygenated and oxygenated blood. Okay. And of course, in our blood vessels, meron tayong tinatawag na aorta. Specify lang natin yung mga important na part nito. Meron tayong aorta. Aorta is the largest artery. Okay? Our aorta is the largest artery. And then we have the superior and inferior. Okay? Superior and inferior vena cava. Okay, so the superior and inferior vena cava. Yan, okay. Superior and inferior vena cava is the biggest veins. Okay, if the aorta is the largest artery, superior inferior vena cava is our biggest veins. Okay. Of course, there are several arterial locations throughout the body where the heartbeat, the pulse can be felt, no? Meron tayong blood pressure. Yung blood pressure is measure of the amount of force. Sa blood vessels kasi natin, when it comes to blood pressure, like what I have said, sphygmomanometer is used to measure the blood pressure, no? of our blood. So when it comes to blood pressure, okay, blood pressure. Okay. So when it comes to blood pressure is a measure of the amount of force. Pag sinabi nating systole meaning contraction. Okay, that is systole or systole. When we say relaxation, kasi sa systole, the heart is contracting, no? Pag nag-contract yan, uh, nagpa-pump siya. So once na nag-pump, nag-contract, tapos kapag nag-relax, tinatawag naman natin yung diastole. So there are several arterial locations throughout the body where the heartbeat, the pulse can be felt. So we have the blood pressure. That blood pressure is measure of the amount of force. That amount of force ay sinatawag nating systole or systole or the contraction of the heart pumping the blood through an artery. And of course, the relaxation or feeling pace. Yung relaxation natin or feeling phase is tinatawag nating diastole or diastole. So, yung diastole is relaxation, no? Pag systole, nagko-contract yung heart. Pag diastole, nag-relax siya. So, 180 over 90, let's say, yan yung blood pressure mo, 180 over 90. Yung 180 is for the contraction, systole. Yung 90 is for the relaxation, diastole. So, 180 over 90. Contraction, systole, relaxation, diastole or diastole for the 90. Yung minimeasure natin sa blood pressure natin. Okay? So right after our blood vessels, let's proceed to our heart. Okay? Heart. So heart is our pumping organ, okay? The function of the heart is to pump the blood so it will circulate throughout the body. The heart is located in the mediastinum, okay? Mediastinum or yung middle chest. Pag sinabi nating mediastinum, ibig sabihin, middle chest yan, no? Middle of the chest. It is a double pump. The right side of the heart receives carbon dioxide from the body cells and send it to the lungs where it is exchanged for oxygen. Then this oxygen-rich blood returns to the left side of the heart. The left side pumps the blood out of the body cells to deliver the oxygen. Actually, both sides pump at the same time, but the blood goes in different direction and it prevented from flowing backward by valves. So if you can still remember, uh, this heart is big as your piece. Our heart rate is about 60 to 80 times. Okay? 80 times per minute. So our heart rate is 60 to 80 times per minute. So katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, mediastinum, middle of the chest. At the same time, we have the 60 to 80 times per minute na heart rate. So, yung four chambers natin ng heart natin, we have the left and right atrium and left and right ventricles. So, makita nyo dito sa ilalim, yan yung four chambers natin, the right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, and then left ventricle. So, why one-way valve, no? So, like what I've said, both sides pumps at the same time, no? Both sides pump at the same time, but the blood goes in different directions and is prevented from flowing backward, no, by valves. So, one-way valves because it allows blood to flow in one-way direction. Okay? So we have also the what we so called the pericardium. Pericardium. So in our pericardium, this is the sac that enclose the heart. So makita natin sa buong katawan ng heart, that is pericardium. So it's a sac that enclose the heart, pericardium. And then we have the stethoscope. Stethoscope. Okay. Stethoscope, it's a type of instrument to hear the beat of our heart. Okay, that is stethoscope. Kapag sa measurement ng heart natin, kapag sinabi ng doktor na you are under the S4 sound, no, ibig sabihin may pagka-abnormal yung sound ng puso mo. Kanina sabi ko, we have the heartbeats, no? It pumps about 60 to 80 times per minute because the heart is a muscle. It requires its own blood supply, which is called the coronary circulation. And blood returns from the body cells via the superior and inferior vena cava. Later on, we will going to discuss the circulation, no, of the blood sa ating katawan at sa ating puso. Okay. So, for our circulation, we have the different types of circulation. Okay. So we have the types of different types of circulation. We have the pulmonary. We have coronary. And systemic circulation. So when it comes to circulation, we have the pulmonary circulation, coronary circulation, and systemic circulation. When we say pulmonary circulation, okay, so pulmonary circulation from the heart going to the lungs and then back to the heart. Okay, this is the smaller circulation. Pulmonary circulation is the smaller circulation from heart going to the lungs and back to our heart. When we say coronary, okay, we have pulmonary. When we say coronary circulation, from heart to the body or the tissues of the heart, that is coronary circulation. When we say systemic circulation, from the heart going to our body or throughout the body, the blood from the heart going to or throughout our body. Ito yung tinatawag nating bigger circulation. Okay, to summarize again, pulmonary circulation from the heart going to the lungs, back to the heart, smaller circulation. Coronary circulation, heart to heart, blood from the heart going to the tissues of the heart. When we say systemic circulation, so systemic circulation from the heart going to the body of or going throughout the body, no, yung blood. Ito yung bigger circulation, the systemic circulation. Now, let us discuss the movement of the blood in our heart. Okay, so let's start. So as you can see dito sa baba, no, meron tayong picture dito ng heart. So yung color blue na nakikita nyo, dyan dumadaloy yung deoxygenated blood. Dito naman sa red, makikita nyo, dyan dumadaloy yung oxygenated blood. So di ba pag sinabi nating deoxygenated blood, ibig sabihin, ang carbon dioxide mataas ang level or ang amount, ang oxygen ay mababa. Kapag sinabi nating oxygenated blood, okay, deoxygenated blood. So when we say okay, deoxygenated blood, ang carbon dioxide ay mataas, ang level or amount of carbon dioxide ay mataas, samantalang oxygen level ay mababa. Kapag sinabi naman nating oxygenated blood, ang amount ng carbon dioxide ay mababa at ang amount naman ng oxygen ay mataas or rich in oxygen ang oxygenated blood. So, identify natin kung paano ba nagsisirculate itong mga blood na ito sa ating puso papunta sa lungs, or puso papunta sa katawan, or puso papunta sa puso. Ayan. So, let's start with superior and inferior vena cava. Sa ilalim, no? Insert lang natin yung picture. Palakihin natin. Okay, so we are here now in our heart. So like what I have said, the function of the heart is to pump blood so it will circulate throughout the body. So start tayo sa blue part. Yung blue part ng heart kung saan dumadaloy ang deoxygenated blood. Pag sinabi natin deoxygenated blood, mas mataas ang amount or level ng carbon dioxide kesa sa oxygen. Yung red part naman kung saan dumadaloy ang oxygenated blood. Ibig sabihin, mas mataas ang level ng oxygen kesa sa carbon dioxide. Okay, sa superior and inferior vena cava. Once na nag-enter ang deoxygenated blood, sa superior and inferior vena cava, papasok sila sa right atrium, magko-contract si right atrium, that is systole contraction, bubukas si tricuspid valve, dadaloy ang deoxygenated blood kay right ventricle. Once na nag-contract si right ventricle, bubukas si pulmonary valve. Kapag nagbukas si pulmonary valve, dadaloy si deoxygenated blood sa pulmonary artery. Once na dumaloy siya sa pulmonary artery, lalabas siya sa left pulmonary artery and right pulmonary artery. So bakit tinawag na pulmonary artery? If you can still remember, pag sinabi nating artery carries blood away from the heart. So saan siya papunta? Pulmonary. Okay, from the word itself pulmonary, pupunta siya sa left and right lungs natin, no? Once na pumunta siya sa left and right lungs, doon magka-process from the oxygenated, gagawing oxygenated blood, katulad nung discussion natin sa process ng respiration or sa respiratory system. Kung naalala nyo, yung process ng gas exchange sa alveoli from deoxygenated to oxygenated blood. So once na nagpunta ang deoxygenated blood sa lungs, no, magkakaroon ulit ng process ng respiration, gas exchange. So magiging oxygenated yung blood. Once na naging oxygenated yung blood, babalik siya dito kay pulmonary veins. Once na pumasok si oxygenated blood sa pulmonary veins, kaya color red na sila, ibig sabihin oxygenated blood na. Pupunta siya kay left atrium. Once na pumunta siya kay left atrium, contraction ulit, bubukas si mitral valve. Once na bumukas si mitral valve, dadaloy ang oxygenated blood sa left ventricle. Magko-contract si left ventricle. Once na nag-contract siya, bubukas si aortic semilunar valve. Kapag nagbukas si aortic semilunar valve, ang oxygenated blood ay dadaloy papunta ka aortic arc, palabas ng puso, papunta sa buong parts ng katawan. That is systemic circulation from heart to the body, no? Anong gagawin ni body sa oxygenated blood? Ang gagawin niya sa oxygenated blood is gagamitin niya yung oxygen for the different processes, no, ng ating katawan, sa function ng ating mga systems at sa function ng mga muscles, organs, no, or pag-produce ng energy ng ating katawan, doon ginagamit yung oxygen. So once na nagamit na ng katawan yung oxygen, babalik ulit siya, no, sa puso. From heart, going to the different parts of the body, and then back to the heart. As what? Oxygenated pa rin ba? Hindi na, kasi ginamit na yung oxygen. So yung oxygenated na yon na blood, magiging deoxygenated blood kasi ginamit ng katawan yung oxygen. So once na nagamit niya na yung oxygen, magiging deoxygenated blood na siya ulit babalik sa superior and inferior vena cava. So same process pa rin. Punta kay right atrium, contract, bukas si tricuspid, punta kay right ventricle, bukas si pulmonary valve, lalabas papunta sa pulmonary artery, papunta sa left lung and right lung. Ang gagawin sa lung, yung deoxygenated blood, gagawing oxygenated through the process of gas exchange. Kapag napuno na ng oxygen yung blood at naging oxygenated blood na, babalik ulit sa heart gamit ang channel natin or vessel natin na pulmonary veins. So from pulmonary veins, papasok ng left atrium, magko-contract si left atrium, bubukas si mitral valve. Once na nagbukas si mitral valve, papasok si oxygenated blood kay left ventricle. Ko-contract si left ventricle, bubukas si aortic semilunar valve. Siya namang paglabas ng oxygenated blood papunta sa aortic at papunta sa ating katawan. So sa katawan, gagamitin ng oxygen, same process, magiging deoxygenated, tapos papasok ulit sa superior and inferior vena cava. So yun yung process ng circulation natin from heart to the tissues of heart, coronary, from heart to the lungs, back to the heart, pulmonary circulation, from heart going to the different parts of the body, then babalik ulit sa puso, that is systemic circulation. So I hope you learned a lot. But before anything else, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Okay, thank you so much.
Hey yo, I'ma explain why you probably never see me. I push a Lamborghini, choke your magic like Houdini. My body shaped like genie, booty dreamy, waist is teeny.